Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
With many businesses in Lloydminster closed or operating with different hours, it may be hard to know what's open. Discover Lloydminster has a new website to help you know which businesses are open. Jace Mackey spoke with Jill Kelly to find out more.
I'm joined with Jill Kelly from Discover Lloydminster, and today we're going to be talking about a new feature that's on their website, What's Open. I think it's really cool. I've kind of learned a little bit about it, but Jill, can you just tell me a little bit about it right now?
Sure, thanks for having me. So we launched a new webpage called What's Open. It's on discoverlloydminster.ca/what's open. And it kind of goes through different businesses that are available for either e-commerce, like straight online, or they selling on via social media, or they open to the public where you can physically go in and just look at business yourself. So as you know, there's a lot of confusion with what's open, what's not, with the recent pandemic, of course. And so we just wanted to provide clarity for businesses alike, as well as patrons, so that they know where to go and what's happening.
And I think this is a really cool idea, and I think it's going to be really helpful for a lot of people here in Lloydminster. But how did this idea come to be? Who came up with it, and how did it happen?
As much as I'd like to say it was all me, that's not true. I work with a very talented team, of course, and so there's just one of those things where I think we've all kind of had a minor inconvenience of trying to shop or trying to keep some normality in your life while still understanding that things change minute by minute, and especially with recent news, it's are we opening, are we not? And so even when the city of Lloydminster starts to reopen back up again, it's going to be done in phases, I assume, if it's going to continue with the way that we had initially planned. So as it opens up, there's still going to be, is that store open? Is this store open? And what are the restrictions? So we wanted to make sure that it was really clear for everybody alike.
And I just had a question about how you're getting the businesses on the site. So is there a way for businesses that want to give you their information to contact you, or how are you guys getting all the data of who's open, who's not open, who's online only?
For sure. So right now we have all our sponsors from the 2020 guide who are up there. We are asking local businesses to list their information. It is a completely free listing until the end of May 8th. So go on there. You're a local business owner, go on there, get your business listed, let us know what services you have to offer. It's free, you might as well do it. And then there's also different packages if people want to increase their exposure, just trying to, again, help people out with this recent pandemic.
And what have the businesses that have already sponsored with you guys, that are already on the site, what have they been saying about having a feature like this to be able to show all in one place what's open?
We've been getting a lot of positive feedback. We just launched it publicly yesterday, I believe. So it is very new. We did send it out to a couple sponsors for a test preview, and they think it's great. It's nice that people here and what's happening.
And I saw, when I went on, I looked, and there's a lot of different kind of sections that breaks it down by businesses. Just, can you give us a little rundown of the kind of stuff that you can find on the site?
For sure. So, of course, there's different retail and shopping opportunities. And then there's restaurants and pubs, if they deliver, if they're open, if they're closed. There's some different arts and culture things. Lots of people are turning online and now offering different ways of getting your products. So for example, some local shops are doing free delivery within city limits, whether it's doorstep or curbside pickup, or if, again, like it's just shopping on their website or on their social media. There's a variety of things that are available, and we want to give the opportunity for those who can let us know. So they can submit their listing, right on what's open, or they could email us as well, which is hello@discoverlloydminster.com.
And just before we go, Why is it so important to be able to showcase and help our local businesses here in the Midwest during this difficult time?
As I'm sure you're aware, local businesses are the backbone of our economy, and especially here in Lloydminster, we're a very entrepreneurial city, and we're a very caring and connected community. And so we just want to help them celebrate and survive this time. We don't really know how long it will last, and even if restrictions get lifted, we need to be exposed. It changes day by day and minute by minute. So we're just here to support them and make sure that there are businesses to come back to.
Awesome, and thank you so much for taking some time to talk to me about this interesting new feature that you guys have on your website.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Our Jasmine King chatted with the Red Brick to learn how they've been handling deliveries and services during COVID-19.
I'm joined here with Emily Ford, and she's the owner and operator of the Red Brick in Vermilion. And now for you guys, how has it been for you adjusting during this time?
We've actually done quite well. We started offering free delivery that we hadn't offered before. We started servicing the area in a little bit different way, so we started offering family meals, which have went over quite well. We've had some pretty busy days and some really excellent response from the community.
And for this, you know, you're offering pickup and delivery. So if someone wanted to know what you guys are offering, what are some examples?
So our family meals range, we do a 2, 4, 6, and 8 family meal. Our options are, like, we do a beef stew, we do a butter chicken, which is a really popular dish that we serve every Thursday here. We do a Southwest salad, a chili, pulled beef, pulled pork. So just really more family approachable meals. And then we offer a decently priced dessert option as well, just to be more affordable, more approachable, just for families during this time. Just busy moms homeschooling kids all of a sudden just don't have that time to cook a meal, or kind of don't want to sometimes. So
Exactly. And for someone who's wondering, how does your pickup and delivery service really work?
So we have a text line, so 581-8944. So we do curbside delivery. We do pick up in the store because you're still able to come in, just not sit in and eat in, and we'll deliver. So just give us a little bit of notice or a little bit of time, or just even if you do it the day before and give us time that you want it delivered the next day, we're happy to do that. So just call in like you would any other place and ask for a meal or whatever. Even a coffee, we'll deliver that within town. That's fine. So just call, we deliver.
And on your guys' Facebook page, you know, you mentioned that you really feature local artists and local products. So can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, so we're really proud to partner with a local author, Billie Jean, out of Kitscoty, and she does these farm wives books. They highlight different farm wives in the area, as well as giving some recipes. They're just really excellent. We also partner with Flint Farm Honey out of Paradise Valley, and they have a variety of honeys and different salves and lip balms. The other honey artist that we partner with is Simply Bee out of Irma, and they have a show every Christmas. They're Christmas in the Country, and it attracts a lot of people and a lot of makers and artists, and it's just a really great time. The Rustic Creations out of Irma as well. They've done some custom work in our shop. Really happy to partner with them. Great people, easy to get a hold of, and they make excellent products. We also have Care Bear Pottery, and her stuff sells just so well in our shop. We're just so happy. We have people that come in just for her pottery, and it's just really exciting to see. So we really want to be like a spot where people think to come for some local products and some local makers, especially since now a lot of our makers typically do the farmers markets, and the farmers markets aren't operating right now, so they can easily access their products here.
And during this time, are those products still available for those who may be looking?
Yes, yeah, so those products are here. You know, farmers don't stop, makers don't stop, so those products are still available. We are open 8 to 5 every day. We'll even deliver, like if somebody wants a mug that they saw and doesn't want to leave their house, we'll even deliver it to their place doorstep, and then they can e-transfer us. So.
And for you guys, why do you really feel like it's important that these local products and local artists get this support?
Just because these are kind of the lifeblood of our community, right? These people who live in the communities, they support the communities, or their kids are in these communities. They operate, their lives are here. So it's so crucial that we ensure that the people who are the lifeblood of our community, like, that they're still making a go of it. And it's so important, like, that if you spend $1 in this community, it stays in this community, or it's going directly to a person that you know. And I think you feel good about spending those dollars when you see the maker. Like, if you buy a bookshelf, you know the person that's made that bookshelf, and I think it just gives you a really good feeling, as well as supporting a family that you can directly see. You directly see how your dollars are going to be spent with these people.
And if someone wanted to contact you guys or get more information, where can they do so?
So our Instagram handle is the Red Brick Vermilion. You can reach us on Facebook at the Red Brick Vermilion, and our phone number is 780-581-8944, and our email is theredbrick17@gmail.com. So any of these options are good options to reach us.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
As movie theaters are slowly starting to reopen up around the world, in this week's entertainment panel, I chat with Abby St. John about the impact that big blockbusters movies could have with major studios due to the pandemic. Well, once again, I'm joined with Abby St. John. It's another week, it's another Friday, and that means it's another entertainment panel. Abby, of course, a lot of states in the U.S. are slowly reopening movie theaters, Georgia being the first one, Texas following suit, and of course here in Canada, movie theaters are part of that reopen phase. I guess how much of an impact will movie theaters see, I guess starting just the fact that they're going to start to reopen in general?
I think in general, 2020 is not the year for the movie industry as a whole. A lot of blockbusters have been pushed back their release dates, and it's nice that they're starting to reopen, but they're still going to have the social distancing and take those extra precautions. So you're not going to get the full theater, which means blockbusters aren't going to get their the full money that they would have gotten if movie theaters were remained completely opened and the pandemic wasn't happening. So the movie industry is going to take a huge hit no matter what, but it's nice that theaters are starting to open, and hopefully nothing goes awry where they have to reclose again, because movies are a big part of our culture, and so it's nice to see that they are starting to open along with the rest of the society.
Absolutely, of course, a lot of people enjoy movies as an escape. Now, of course, with a lot of movies, of course, having to be pushed back, some big names just to mention, Mulan, Black Widow, Tenet, and then many others that were supposed to be released later this summer, now being pushed back to either fall or even into next year. How much of a blow is it going to be for those studios like Warner Brothers and Disney that are pushing these big movies back that they spent a lot of money to make, and now they're going to have to wait to maybe have very limited people going to see these movies?
It's definitely going to take a huge hit. It's definitely going to shuffle a lot of things around. You aren't going to see the blockbuster numbers that you would normally see if we were in normal circumstances. So with Mulan, the reboot of it, it was highly anticipated. It was already supposed to be released. Now they have pushed it back to July 24th. Hopefully by then a lot more theaters will be open, and so that they can kind of make up for it, because there is the rest of the world too who do take into account those box office numbers, worldwide domestic gross, so that will help as well. Now with Marvel, that's a different story, because they had to push back the release of Black Widow, which was also very highly anticipated. The story of Black Widow, it was originally supposed to be in May. However, it's now been pushed back to the fall, to November 6th, which will now push back all the other sequels and the movies that the MCU was supposed to release. So the Eternals, which was, I guess, their new group of Avengers, it'll be their new phase. They were supposed to release in November, but now Marvel wants to give Black Widow its chance. Eternals now pushed back to next year around February 21st.
And I guess just lastly, Abby, the Oscars have announced that they are going to change the rules next year because, a lot of movies are going onto the streaming services or they're going to be pushed back a little bit. How important was it, do you think, in your mind for the Academy to, bend the rules just a little bit, especially during this pandemic?
I think they had to. I think we don't have enough movies or film to go off of to have a normal Oscars. So really, if they wanted to have the Academy Awards just like every year to not break tradition, you have to change it up a bit because of the circumstances where all these movies have been pushed back. They're not being released. Production has been stalled on a lot of projects. So you had to have changed it if they wanted to show the Oscars and to have that award show like they've had it for the past 70 years.
Now, I guess just really quickly, Abby, as well, before we wrap things up here, which movie were you expecting to see on its actual release date that you're kind of upset that now got pushed back further?
Now, this one is kind of, I didn't really think of it until I saw it not too long ago, but Ghostbusters Afterlife, I'm very excited to see. It was originally supposed to be released on July 10th, but it's now being pushed back to March 5th of next year. I was really excited to see it because Ghostbusters has been a classic since the original has been released, and the remake that they did a couple years ago didn't do so great. So I'm hoping that Ghostbusters Afterlife, kind of like after everything has happened, a new generation of kids becoming Ghostbusters, I'm really hoping that it's just as good as the original. So that one, I think I'm most excited to see it, and unfortunately I have to wait till next year.
Well, Abby, thanks a lot for joining us once again, of course, on our weekly entertainment panel. Always great chatting with you about movies and whatnot. So thank you.
Thanks, Connor.
After a rookie season where he posted 3 goals and 8 assists, Bowling Green University defenseman TJ Lloyd sat down with our Evan Kenny to chat about his time in the NCAA.
Taking the time to join me today is Bowling Green's Falcons defenseman, as well as a Lloydminster hockey product, TJ Lloyd. TJ, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Now, TJ, what was this first year like going up to the NCAA after graduating from the AJHL?
I was obviously looking forward to it since I committed a year and a half before going. And once I got there, it was awesome. Right from the start, all the guys are getting together. You got about a month till the season starts, so you're training pretty hard together. You're doing lots of battle drills. And that's really bringing you guys closer together as a group, winding you down to that first game of the year. And let me tell you, college games are just awesome. It's such a great league, and there's just so much build up to the games on the weekend, and every game just means so much. It was a really fun experience.
Now, for yourself, after being an older guy in the AJHL and a leader on your Spruce Grove team, and then moving and being, one of the rookies on this team, what was that change like for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little different. Obviously, I remember being a younger guy in junior, and I just kind of did the same mentality, went in there and tried to learn from the older guys, and I had some great older guys to learn from. Like, I was the second youngest in the team, and there's 25-year-olds, and I got to play with the 25-year-old and his maturity out there, and you just get to learn a lot from the older guys.
Now, what was that jump up like? Obviously, you mentioned it, you're playing against older players, and it is a league higher, but from a hockey sense, did it take a lot to get used to that play?
Yeah, I mean, the AJHL is a very good league, and it prepped me really good for the NCAA, and that's a lot of credit to Spruce Grove and what they're doing there. And the biggest difference is obviously, like I said earlier, is the age, and that's physical maturity as well. Guys are a lot stronger on the puck, and I would say another thing is it's definitely a little bit more structured. You're playing the same team twice on the weekend, so you're really evaluating, all their strengths, all their weaknesses. So it's a really fun game, and like I said earlier, the games have a lot of hype, so it was great.
Now, TJ, for yourself, you played in some big games, whether it was with Spruce Grove going through your guys' playoff runs or with Team Canada West. Do you think those big games really prepped you for moving up a level?
Yeah, for sure. Spruce Grove was great. AJHL is a great league. There's a lot of really good players funneling out from there, and you see a lot of players having college success, and I'm obviously trying to follow in those players' footsteps, and hopefully the AJHL continues to do the same, and it's a good filter out to the NCAA.
Now, for yourself, moving out and going to school, what was that adjustment like, let alone the hockey side of things?
Yeah, so I had a year off of school, so that was obviously a bit of a change. Getting into things is a bit of an adjustment. And, so you got all your hockey in the morning, we do our workout and practice in the morning, and from there on, it's kind of just school and worrying about homework. And they have lots of resources to help you get, the work done, and the professors are accommodating to you when you miss classes and whatnot. So as long as you reach out for help and you're willing to do the work, everyone's willing to work with you, and, you can definitely get it done and accomplish it.
Now, TJ, Bowling Green, known for its development in defensemen, which is great for someone like yourself. They produced players like Rob Blake, Kevin Bietsa, just to name a few. Did you really notice that your skill development improved while in your single season there so far?
Yeah, I mean, our head coach is a defenseman, was a defensive growing up, played for Bowling Green. And then our assistant coach, he brought in from Merrimack. He has a lot of teaching and, he sent a lot of defensemen into pro. So there's definitely a lot of good guidance there. I learned a lot of good things. And the little things is that they just pay attention to such the details, I would say. It's such a detailed game up there. And I feel like the more you move up, the less mistakes that are made. So they're really good teachers. And, they were patient with me off the start there. And they kind of allowed me to play in a role and gave me some confidence to do that.
Well, TJ, I appreciate you taking this time with us, and best of luck with your off-season and training, especially with the COVID-19.
Yeah, thank you very much, and you too.
I'm joined here with Doug Bainton, and he is the lead pastor at First Baptist Church. And now for you guys, you've had to do a lot of different things since people can't regularly come into the church and everything. So what has it been like for you guys during this pandemic?
Well, it's definitely been a steep curve. We've had to pivot and switch gears in a lot of respects and find different ways to connect with our people and so on. And thanks to a really dedicated tech team and music team, we've been able to do a lot of things, and our staff has been awesome as well at making these changes and helping to make things happen.
And why did you guys really want to offer these online services that you've been having?
Well, it's really important for us to be able to connect with our people and stay connected with them, especially at times like these where, our situation is sort of unprecedented, and there's definitely some room for concern and a little bit of trepidation amongst people and so on. So we wanted to definitely try and be able to stay connected and help our people navigate through this as best we can.
And on your Facebook page, again, you guys have your online services. So if somebody doesn't really know, what do you want to feature in those?
Well, we try and do just a couple of things. First of all, we try and do a bit of music. That's important to us. And so our worship teams are participating in that, doing music for us each week. And then we try to go to scripture. Right now, we're working our way through a series we call Jesus' Greatest Tweets, which is a series on Christ's Sermon on the Mount. And so we're just working our way through that in Matthew. And so we do some music, and then we focus on some scripture and go from there.
And what has the reaction been like from people so far?
Oh, we've been really, really pleased, blown away in lots of respects at just how well people have adapted to these changes and have participated alongside of us. They're diving in and they're engaging with us in these new methods and means. And so just kudos to them, our church congregation, our and friends, from around all over the place, here, there, and everywhere, have seemed to be joining in. So we're excited about that.
And why do you feel like now more than ever is an important time to feature these and help people out?
Well, I think, people are starting to ask some significant questions about life, like what's going on. The things that we used to think were pretty stable and secure aren't necessarily as stable as they once were. People are being thrown into some difficult situations, both in terms of health and or in terms of their economics. And so that's causing questions, and it's causing people to rethink some of their priorities and so on. And so for us, it was really important for us to be able to try and offer alternatives and options for them to engage with us in what we think is the most important message in the world, which is the good news of Jesus Christ.
And with that, you kind of just mentioned, you want to spread that word, but what are some of the main lessons that you guys have been talking about?
Well, trust in God is huge. And the fact that He is with us in the midst of all of these challenges that we're facing, that He's not removed from us, that He promises to come alongside of us and to help us to navigate them, to care for us and watch over us. And so those are a particular reassurance to people at this point in time, and just a really important message for us as we navigate the coronavirus and all that goes with it.
And if someone wanted to take part in these, where can they go, and what's the information you'd want to give out?
Well, thanks for that. We'd invite anybody to participate. If they would go to our website, you can download the app to get onto our church app as well. So through the website, you can join the video services on Sunday through the app. You can go to YouTube or to Facebook and look us up on that. We've got a YouTube channel and our Facebook page, First Baptist Church Lloydminster. So any of those ways will work, and we look forward to seeing anybody that's able to join us.
And do you have more new videos daily, or is it mainly just on Sundays?
Well, we've got videos on Sunday mornings that are released with our service for the week, but then we've also got a blog that comes out on Wednesday. Our staff are rotating through doing what we call our socially distanced devos. So check that out on Wednesdays. On our Facebook page, we've got different things that come up throughout the week, so some options there. We've also got resources on our website each week for kids, for youth, their kids in different ways. So there's lots of different options all week long that you can participate in.
All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
No, thank you, Jasmine. Take good care.
Thank you.